Hi folks, this is Don again. This picture you're seeing I kind of wish I had found when I started this project. So I guess we'll listen to this old tale from the Old Tale Tavern. Where you want to come and rest and eat and drink and listen. This is video number 188. And the title is Spontaneous. It'll be a number of short stories about things that happened spontaneously in my life. Some were funny, some are funny now, but weren't not so funny back then. Enjoy. There were places in and around Scranton and Wilkes-Barre where you could not get in unless you were wearing a jacket and tie. The ability for a teenager, just driving and things like that, to be able to go to a place like that was kind of considered of a sign of passage from being a stupid kid to growing into a young man. First time I went to the Castle restaurant, I told my girlfriend Barbara that we were going to go there ahead of time, and she got a nice dress, and I got her a little corsage of miniature yellow roses. And I just bought my 62 Falcon with tan and gold interior, and bucket seats up front, bench in the back. Yeah. And we went to the Castle restaurant for dinner, and then we went to the movies, probably the Center Theater, jacket and tie there too. And if I recall, we either saw Born Free or Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Two classics of our time, or I should say maybe my time. Okay, on to the next one. This is a picture of Center Theater in Scranton, on Lackawanna Avenue, right across from Steamtown Mall. At least that's where it was. I don't know what's there now. I don't go down there much. But anyway, like I said in the previous, Center Theater was jacket and tie as well. And we had a little bit of a letdown in the passage from stupid teenager to young man one night when we went to the movies. We got our tickets, and we went in. We're at the concession stand, and we're getting our popcorn and stuff going, and somebody smart-mouthed somebody else, and next thing I know, we're in a popcorn fight in the lobby of this class act place. And I wasn't the only one that landed butt first on the sidewalk, but it was the one and only time I ever did. I literally got ejected right out the door. I made sure that never ever happened again. This story too is tied to the Center Theater. It was another trip to the movies. And I'd like to say in a previous story that we went in 4 couples in 2 cars. And Louise and I rode with Butch and Beverly. Butch owned the Summit Towing Service. Used to be located at the Scranton end of the water reservoir in Chinchilla. He had 2 or 3 tow trucks. So he was kind of busy around. Louise taught school in Tunkhannock, but her and 2 other girls were renting a house on Grove Street. And it was Jimmy was working for the Summit Borough, and I was putting in pipelines and working for the water company. So we used to go out on quadruple dates. And like I said, that's what happened on the popcorn deal. Well, this time we went to the movies, and we didn't get thrown out. But the movie was over, and we were going up Wyoming Avenue. I don't know where we were going, get something to eat, I guess. And Butch and Beverly had a little boy. He was like 3 years old. And Grandma was watching the little boy, and I discovered on the floor in the back seat there was a little cat pistol, similar to what's in this picture. Butch drove a Mercury, and it had an electric window in the back that went up and down. It was vertical window, and of course that was a big car, a big old Mercs. I said, "Hey Butch, put the window down." He put the window down. Because Jimmy was following us in his '63 bright red Plymouth Fury. I crawled out the window onto the trunk with this cat pistol in my hand. I'm pretending I'm shooting at Jimmy's car, and something big came up alongside our car. And I looked, and holy smoke, it was a Brinks armored car. Oh, I don't know what to use now. I think they have little rubber portholes now or something. But there used to be little rectangle doors on the side of them things. And this particular one seemed to have an abundance of those. Because I looked at the side and I saw what was there, and I looked up and I saw 2 or 3 heads behind the bulletproof glass with big eyes looking at me. And all of a sudden there was a whole bunch of gun barrels come out the side of that truck. Looked like a sparsely quilled porcupine. Didn't take me too long to get my butt back in that car. I damn near got killed going to the movies. Yeah, it's funny now, but it wasn't too funny at that moment. I guess this will be a combination of 2 stories about going parking. The first one kind of proves it could be hazardous to your health. Girlfriend and I were doing this real secluded spot on a dirt road. We stopped there, and we were fooling around a little bit, and I was leaning up against the passenger side door. Well, somehow she hit the door handle and the door flew open. And I went out the car backwards. And of course, the dirt road was right at the top of a hill. And I did like 5 or 6 backward rolls on that hill before I was able to stop myself. Right down through the weeds and seeds. Yeah, that was unexpected. The second time, girlfriend and I, we were going back to Virginia, Fort Belvoir. Well, I guess maybe we were married then. Louise and I, and we were going down 81, and I don't know, just the opportunity arose, I guess you could say, or something. I don't know. But anyway, we decided to pull off the road and take care of business, or just plain fool around, whatever it was. Well, we were enjoying our time together there on the side of the road, and all of a sudden I got on the window, and I turned and looked, and this is what I saw. The distinct gray uniform and square belt buckle of a Pennsylvania state trooper. All of a sudden, we had some splaining to do. I showed him my military ID, told him we're going back to the base, and he said, "Okay, I'll be right back." He come back and he gave me a written warning for illegally parking along an interstate. Well, anyway, that's my 2 parking little blurbs. This next little story is about something that happened at my neighbor Alan's house. I was talking to him about something, and he said, "Come on, go down the basement." He said, "Go down the basement, kind of his man cave. He had his hobbies set up down there, stuff he was doing." Well, he sat in his desk chair, and I sat in a chair next to his desk, and I was smoking a cigar. I didn't have too much left on it, so I went to finish it off and got down to a stub and had an ashtray there, kind of like the one in the picture. And it had ashes in it, so I didn't think anything about it. I just took it and went to put it out in the ashtray. And about the time I did, I saw him jump and his eyes got big, but it was too late. I just plunked it right down in the ashes. And poof! All of a sudden I couldn't see him no more. It wasn't ashes. Now it was a reloader, reloaded his own ammunition. The ashes was gunpowder in that ashtray. And I stuck the cigar in it. Poof! His wife was not a happy camper. Not only did they fill the basement full of smoke, but it made it up the stairway too into the kitchen. And she was not happy with me. Time buyer, be no more smoking in this house. Yes, dear. So anyway, that's what happened with the ashtray in the neighbor's house. This is another story about going on a date with Butch and Beverly. No guns involved this time. We were going down the hill past the Summit Methodist Church. I think it's the O'Neill Highway. Right at the bottom of the hill is a traffic light. Just as we were approaching the traffic light, a really good song came on the radio. And I said, "Wow, that's one of my favorite songs." And Beverly said, "Mine too." And I said, "You want to dance?" "Yeah," she said. She threw open the door, jumped out, so I jumped out. Her and I ran around in front of the car. Butch turned the radio up. And Beverly and I cranked it up underneath the traffic light. People were blowing their horns, getting out, clapping, hollering. And the song was over. We got done, went to get back in the car, and everybody's out in the middle of the street clapping for us, giving us thumbs up. Sad part is today, if you tried that, you'd probably get run over or shot. Yeah, you can't have any spontaneous fun anymore without being ridiculed for it. Anyway, those were the days. One more story. Well, this is a game warden story. First picture you see here is a raccoon in his summer coat. Brown and kind of a funky black. The second picture is a raccoon in his winter coat. His guard hairs and hair is all real thick. That's prime for fur trapping, Back in those days, raccoon fur was still bringing pretty good prices. Anyway, our boss Al had gotten word that this fellow out towards Levelton was live trapping raccoons and keeping them in cages, which is against the law, especially if you're doing it out of season. So Al knew about where it was. The guy gave him an approximate measurement on along 87. It turns out the guy's driveway went in off 87 into the woods, went uphill a little bit. They made a 90-degree turn, and you couldn't see anything. It was all woods. No trespassing signs on all the trees. I mean, the place was really pasted with them. Al says, "I got to get probable cause to do this, to get a warrant." He said, "How am I going to do that?" And I said, "I got an idea." I said, "Let's just drive up and ask for directions." I got a real strange look from Al, like, "What?" Well, I was driving my vehicle because we didn't want to take the game commission vehicle out on a episode like that. So I said, "Well, just go up and ask for directions." So Al pulls his hat down over the side of his head a little bit and scrunches down in the seat some. I drove up the driveway and right up to the guy's house. The guy's house was on the right on the passenger's side. His barn was right in front of my truck. Well, it didn't take long for the guy to come right out the door. "Yeah, what do you want?" "Say, Need some directions. I said, we're looking for Bob Bauer's greenhouse. I said, a friend of mine told me it's along 87 here someplace. I don't know if we went too far or didn't go far enough. I said, I thought maybe it might be back here. So I pull in and see. So, you got any idea where it is? And the guy said, nope, never heard of it. I go, okay, thank you. And I turned around and we left. Now, Al got his probable cause. Because when I pulled up and stopped at the guy's house, right in front of his barn, were 4 big wire cages, and each one of them had raccoons in it. Imagine that. Next day, Al got his warrant, and I believe Barry Hamley from Sullivan County went with him, and they served a warrant and arrested the guy for illegal taking and unlawful possession of fur bearers. Well, anyhow, that's going to be the last story on this video. So, as usual, folks, I wish everyone all the best.